Hi, this is Alcan. Welcome back to my channel. Well, Dahlia Mulvaney is back in the news again. She had her return on the View. It should be the View, but I sound under the View because it's been under the weather lately when it comes to his um, numbers. Um, she had a book out called Paper Dolls, something like that, and it's not doing so great. So now she's saying that religion is faith being used against trans people to shame them. Sorry, but I don't recall ever shaming anyone who's trans with religion. I mean, certainly not Jazz Jennings or Blair White or some other people I do follow on social media who are trans. I might give them the emoji with the hands together, like a blessing for them. I don't looking for ways to insult them. If that's what Dylan Mulvaney is suggesting. But anyway, here we go. So Dylan Mulvaney says religion and faith used against trans community hopes people will feel ashamed. By Mark Tomaso. Sorry if I can't pronounce your name right. It's from Fox News. So the trans influencer stated, I hope when we look back on this period of time, we'll be quite ashamed of what this looks like. So transgender activists, Daniel Mulvaney, say that transgender individuals have having religion or faith used against them and hope Americans will feel shame looking back on this government treatment of trans individuals during a CNN interview on Friday. Okay, Mulvaney came under fire after posting a video in April 2023 revealing Anheuser-Busch sent packs of Budweiser with the influencer's face as part of a promotion push to celebrate Mulvaney's full year of transitioning to girlhood. Mulvaney had this uh, TikTok series, several days being a girl. I forgot the name of it. It was very popular on TikTok, but apparently it's not doing so great outside of it. So CNN Sarah Sider asked the transgender activist what she told her mother when she came out to her as transgender when she was only 4 years old. Stealing a page from Jess Jennings? Just saying. I came out to her and says, I think I made a mistake. I put a girl in the boy's body. And she said, God didn't make mistakes. And in many ways, I believe that was true. I didn't think I was a mistake. I'm still finding a version of a higher power for, my life now. Mulvaney replies, I think a lot of the times queer and trans people feel alienated because we having a religion and faith used against us. Snyder then claimed that the government is currently focused on transgender people in the most negative way, referring to President Donald Trump's sex executive orders. Um, when you transition from one person to another, you're transitioning to a different sex. That's all it says, man or woman. Mm-hmm. Doesn't say no trans man, no trans woman. But I don't know. What do I know, right? Mm-hmm. Trump signed an executive order defending women from gender ideology extremism and restored biological truth to the federal government on his first day in office. The order mandates the federal government recognize only two sexes, male and female, based on immutable biologically characteristic, which must be reflected in official documents like passports. Oh boy. There is a whole government that actually has been very much focused on transgender people in the most negative way. They are changing passports to people's assigned gender at birth. They are saying there's only two genders. There is only one bathroom that you're allowed to go into. What do you do with all this? Asked Snyder. But in response to an announcement that no matter what a passport says or what a gender a person is referring to as by government officials, it doesn't change who they are and how they see themselves. Well, I just have to remember what just happened. Mm, we apologize. Something happened here. Well, I just have to remember that no matter what my passport says or what government officials are misgendering me, it doesn't change who I am and who I see every day and who my fellow trans folks are, Mulvaney implies. The transgender influencer continues claiming that the government is using transgender people as a common enemy to distract from other problems the world is facing. Mulvaney's also hope that people will feel shame when they look back at this time period, or period of time. Not to bring it back to the musical Wicked, but they talk about finding a common enemy to kind of distract from what else is going on in the world. We're less than 1%, and we're really not harming anyone. We're not monsters, claim Mulvaney. So I hope that when we look back on this period of time, we will be quite ashamed of what this looks like. Yeah, but you got to remember, there are successful people who had transition and had successful lives. Not everybody's having a hard time. I mean, Blair White is a prime example. Yes, he's transitioned from a young man to a woman. Not completely, but yes. No bariatric surgery, she said. She's not interested in that. But she's a very successful business person especially on YouTube. Tra- Trey Morgan, might remember this person as another individual that was a successful singer, but then changed into a female and still a successful singer. Jesse Page has a friend who's transgender, not a bad looking transgender woman. Jazz Jennings, she's great. Um, Very successful show. I Am Jazz. She's in college, Harvard. Mm, Dylan Mulvaney, well, there you got a problem there, and she's trying, but kind of a hit or miss. Unfortunately, the Budweiser ad didn't help Budweiser, and that led to one of the first successful conservative boycotts of a company. Then Target gets whacked. Hmm. Yeah. If Budweiser would apologize, they would get a lot of people back. Well, that's why they decided to, you know, team up with the UFC and and then this comedian who imitates Trump, Sean Gillis or something like that. Very hilarious guy. Oh, he hosted Saturday Night Live one time. Did some comedy sketches that were absolutely fabulous. Well, I mean, the thing is, I mean, it is a real problem, and sometimes the only solution is yes, they have to transition from one sex to another, but that's not all the time. Some people are able to get out of it, some don't, and unfortunately, some people, you know, transgender, and then they try to go back because it's not for them. And unfortunately, sometimes they do some damage and they can't go back, or they try to and makes it harder for them. So this is a very touchy subject, to say the least. But it seems like Daniel Mulvaney's, is having sour grapes about the situation more than anything else. Because I mean, during the height of May the I mean, I let the message on her page, and I said, well, I know what's going on with all this stuff, and I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm not interested in you know bring negativity towards you. So I said my piece, and that was it. No backlash, no problem, as somebody would say. So this is Alcan saying so long for now, and don't forget to stop. Oof.